Spring break only comes once a year, but Raw brings the excitement with it wherever we go, and tonight is no exception.
I've been looking forward to this match all night, JR. I can't believe it's finally underway.
This has been a hotly anticipated contest, and as far as I'm concerned, it's living up to the hype.
No question about that, JR. The fans certainly seem to be into it, that's for sure.
And when it comes down to it, that's all that matters.
You know, JR, everyone goes on and on about how great The Undertaker is, but I think he's overrated. It takes more than black lights and some dry ice to impress me.
And how about going 14-0 at WrestleMania, King? How about being a four-time WWE champion? Does that impress you?
Now, come on, JR. I'm not saying that the dead man doesn't have one or two impressive achievements to his name. I just think he's taken too seriously for a grown man who dresses like it's Halloween every day.
One or two? There's a reason they call him the Phenom. He's been one of the most dominant WWE superstars for his entire career. He came in at the top, and he stayed there ever since.
Well, The Undertaker might have had a pretty good ride, but I think 13 years is his unlucky number. I think it's only a matter of time before someone buries the dead man.
That went nowhere.
He countered that one perfectly. This is going beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that. Excellent counter. What ring presence. Would you look at that? A blatantly illegal maneuver. That should be a disqualification.
You might be right, JR, but I don't hear the ring bell. This match is still going. How can Shawn Michaels keep calling himself the Heartbreak Kid? Does he really think he's still breaking hearts at his age?
King, I'm sorely tempted to say something about the pot. Oh, boy, this is not going to be an easy hole to escape from.
It sure isn't, JR. I've been on the wrong end of that one many times. These superstars are putting on a great match so far, JR. But if they drop the ball, these fans will let them hear about it.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. These competitors know that their paychecks come straight from the WWE fans. They're not going to let them down.
Yeah, but if they don't keep the fans happy...
If wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. But that's not the case now, is it? Boy, when you look at these superstars, it really drives home the fact that Raw is the dominant brand of sports entertainment.
Oh, there's no doubt about that, JR. There's not a superstar on the SmackDown roster who could hold a candle to Raw's finest.
I wouldn't go that far, King. But quite a few SmackDown superstars who I'd love to have on Raw.
Oh, come on, JR. Why would you want to lower the tone of the Raw locker room by bringing in some losers from SmackDown?
King, next time you call The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit losers, make sure you give me some warning so I can get the hell out of here before you do it. I don't want to be any part of what that's going to get you. This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans are getting the chance to see it.
Yeah, I'm happy that I'm getting to see it too, JR. I just wish they'd pick up the pace a little.
Oh, no. This is classic old-school wrestling at its finest. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate that, King.
Wait a minute, JR. You're not trying to say that I'm old, are you?
Of course not, King. Although there was that rumor going around about your Social Security number was 1.
The Undertaker's been in WWE for 13 years now, JR. think it's really starting to show here tonight.
I don't know what match you're watching, King, but the dead man looks as good tonight as when he first appeared in the WWE.
I'm not sure if it's your eyes or your brain that shot JR, but that's ridiculous. The Undertaker should quit now, while he can still retire with some dignity.
He's got his opponent locked in a submission hold.
We can see a tap out right here, JR.
Look at Shawn Michaels. The future Hall of Famer has overcome so much adversity in his career. But the Heartbreak Kid's got more heart than anyone I've ever seen in this business.
You know, JR, HBK might be a living legend and all, but I wish he'd just keep his mouth shut and let his actions in the ring speak for him. He's never met a microphone he didn't like.
Michaels has impressed me more times than I can count, King. Even you have to admit that he's done a lot for this business.
Yeah, and the business has done a lot for him. Michaels tries to come off as a goody two-shoes, but when it comes right down to it, he's as much of an egotist as anyone else in the business.
Is there any superstar in WWE who can go toe-to-toe with that man, The Undertaker?
Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? There's no way The Undertaker's going to win this match. Just look at him.
Oh, I am, King. I'm looking at one of the most awesome forces I've ever seen in a WWE ring. And I think the dead man's going to remind everyone tonight why the submission has been expertly applied, and now it's just a matter of time.
That's right, JR. You've either got to break the hold or get broken by it.
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight. You can't question the heart of any WWE superstar. But there comes a point where you're just not able to physically continue. The submission is locked in. This could be huge.
Oh my gosh, JR! You can't go long without tapping out to this. Look at this, JR. Can you imagine SmackDown putting on a match half as good as this?
No disrespect intended on a SmackDown colleague, but no, I can't, King. I truly believe Raw's the dominant brand is working advantage.
You hit the nail right on the head there, JR. The dominant brand. Not the slightly better brand or the sort of superior brand.
Absolutely not. I'm a Raw man. And I have to believe we're head and shoulders better than the competition.
You won't get any argument from me, JR. SmackDown's the minor leagues as far as I'm concerned. You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves. That's for... This could be a pinfall.
You know, JR, when I saw this match on paper, I wasn't too sure about it. But it's turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
I'm not at all surprised, King. I knew this was going to be a terrific match.
Oh, come on, JR. You're just talking through your hat. And speaking of hats, when are you going to get rid of that silly thing anyway?
Right about the time you stop wearing that crown outside.
Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I sit here and listen to you through over the deep.
Come on, JR. You know I'm helpless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing a pitcher of ice water out here with me next time.
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling that paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like. We're in the middle of a slobber knocker. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the liver tape.
All right, enough. I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again.
He countered that and made it look easy.
CJR, this is exactly why Raw is the #1 brand in all of sports entertainment.
You're absolutely right, King. We've got the best superstars, the best fans,
And the best announced team. Don't forget that.
I was going to say that until you interrupted me. Now I'm just hoping I haven't lost Taz's phone number.
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
That's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but he might be thinking of one of his favorite tunes.
No! Sweet chin music! I don't believe it! You can look at any professional sport you want, JR.
He's got